The bride said she just guards doors for a living. The room burst into laughter. My mother added we didn't even think she'd show up. Then the groom stepped forward, faced me, and said, "Ma'am, I'm alive because of you." The room froze. Haley couldn't speak. "We've basically been on a break. Guess you're slower than I thought," she said. I thought I was living in a relationship. Turns out I was just a side character in her performance. I got played right inside my own home. So my girlfriend just rewrote 2 years of our relationship history to justify cheating. I need you guys to tell me I'm not losing my mind here. I've been with Vanessa for 2 years, living together in my apartment for the past 8 months. Things weren't perfect lately. We'd been having some tension and weren't as intimate as usual, but I thought that was normal relationship stuff. You know how it is. Work gets busy, life gets stressful, and sometimes the romance takes a backseat. Looking back now, maybe I was blind to some signs. She'd been more distant, spending more time on her phone, getting irritated over small things. But honestly, I attributed it to work stress. Her company was going through layoffs, and she'd been pulling long hours trying to prove herself. I actually tried to be supportive by giving her space and handling more of the household stuff. Last Friday morning, Vanessa told me she was going to visit her sister Emma for the weekend. Said Emma was going through a really rough divorce and needed emotional support. Emma lives about 3 hours away, so it made sense she'd stay overnight. "Take as much time as you need," I told her while making coffee. "Emma's lucky to have you." She gave me this weird look I couldn't read at the time. "Yeah, well, family comes first, right?" She left Friday evening around 6 p.m., kissed me goodbye like normal and said she'd be back Sunday evening. I told her to drive safe and text me when she got there. She did text me around 9 p.m., made it safe. "Emma's a mess, but we're talking through everything. Love you." I sent back heart emojis and told her I loved her too. Saturday, I had a pretty normal day. It felt kind of nice having the place to myself, if I'm being honest. We've been on top of each other a lot lately with both of us working from home sometimes. Saturday night around 10 p.m., I get a text from my buddy Jake. "Dude, isn't that Vanessa at the Marriott downtown?" With a photo attached. My stomach dropped through the floor. Clear as day, Vanessa walking into the hotel lobby with some guy I didn't recognize. She was wearing the black dress she usually saves for date nights with me. The guy had his hand on her lower back in a way that was definitely not platonic. I stared at that photo for probably 10 minutes straight, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. I called her immediately. It rang once then went straight to voicemail. That never happens. Her phone is always on. I tried again 5 minutes later. Same thing. Then I tried calling from my work phone in case she was screening my calls. Straight to voicemail again. I spent the entire night pacing my apartment, checking her social media, nothing posted, calling every hour. By Sunday morning, I was a wreck. I'd barely slept and I felt sick to my stomach. I kept looking at that photo, zooming in, trying to convince myself it wasn't really her. Sunday afternoon, I tried calling Emma directly. I'd only met her a few times, but I had her number from when we all went to their mom's birthday last year. "Oh, hi, Chris." Emma sounded surprised. "Is everything okay?" "Hey, Emma, I just wanted to check on you. Vanessa said you were going through a tough time with the divorce." Long pause. "Divorce? What divorce? Mark and I are fine." The world tilted. "Wait, what?" "Vanessa said she was coming to see you this weekend because you needed support." "Chris, I haven't talked to Vanessa in like 2 months. I thanked Emma and hung up. Then I literally had to sit down just to process it all. Vanessa had lied about everything. Sunday evening, she came home around 7 p.m., acting completely normal, dropped her bag by the door, kicked off her shoes, asked about my weekend like nothing happened. "How was your time with Emma?" I asked, watching her face carefully. "Exhausting," she sighed dramatically. "Divorce drama is so draining." She's better now though. We talked through a lot of stuff. I'm watching her lie directly to my face, and I can barely breathe. My heart was pounding so hard I thought she could hear it. "That's good that you could help her," I said quietly. "Yeah, well, you know how protective I am of family." She came over and kissed my cheek. "What did you do while I was gone?" I waited until she was settled on the couch, then pulled out my phone. "Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. Jake sent me this yesterday." I showed her the photo. The color drained from her face completely, but only for about 2 seconds. Then her expression hardened and she got defensive. "You had me followed." "What the hell, Chris?" "Jake happened to be downtown for dinner and saw you." "Who is that guy, Vanessa?" She stared at the photo for a long moment, and I could practically see her calculating what to say. Finally, she sat down across from me and sighed like I was being unreasonable. "That's Patrick, my ex." I felt like the ground was falling away beneath me. "Your ex? You told me you were visiting your sister." "I just called Emma, Vanessa. She's not getting divorced. She hasn't even seen you in months." Another pause. Then, "Okay, look, Chris, We've basically been on a break the past month. You know things haven't been good between us. I stared at her in complete shock. A break? What are you talking about? We never discussed any break. Come on, Chris, look at how we've been acting lately. When's the last time we were really intimate? When's the last time we went on a real date or had a meaningful conversation? We've been like roommates living parallel lives. So because we hit a rough patch, that automatically means we're on a break. That's not how relationships work, Vanessa. You don't just decide that we're broken up and start seeing your ex. She rolled her eyes like I was being dramatic. I figured someone as smart as you would pick up on the signals and realize where this was heading. Guess you're slower than I thought. That hit me like a physical slap. Here I was, finding out my girlfriend of 2 years spent the weekend with her ex-boyfriend, lied about where she was going, and now she was calling me slow for not realizing we were on a break. That was never once discussed or agreed upon. Did you sleep with him? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Long pause. She looked away. We reconnected. Yes. Did you sleep with him? Chris, we're adults. Patrick and I have history. It wasn't planned. It just happened. I had to leave the room before I said something I'd regret. I went to the bathroom and splashed cold water on my face. When I looked in the mirror, I barely recognized myself. I looked hollow, shocked. When I came back, she was sitting there scrolling through her phone, looking annoyed rather than guilty. So let me get this straight, I said, sitting back down. You decided we were on a break without telling me, lied about visiting your sister, spent the weekend with your ex in a hotel, and somehow I'm the problem for being upset about this. Don't be so dramatic, Chris. These things happen in relationships when people grow apart. We can work through this if you stop being so black and white about everything. Work through this. You cheated on me, Vanessa. You planned it. You lied about it. And now you're trying to rewrite history to make it my fault. I didn't cheat. We were on a break. We were not on a break. We never discussed a break. We were still saying I love you every day. We were still sleeping in the same bed. We were still planning things together. You don't get to retroactively declare us broken up because you wanted to sleep with your ex. She stood up and crossed her arms. Fine, Chris, be angry. But Patrick reminded me what it feels like to be with someone who actually wants me, who makes effort, who doesn't take me for granted. That was it. I was done. Get out. What? Get out of my sight. Go to your room or wherever. I don't care. I can't look at you right now. She stomped off to the bedroom and slammed the door. I sat on my couch and tried to figure out what the hell just happened to my life. Read it. Am I crazy? Is this how breaks work? Because I thought you had to actually discuss and agree to a break for it to be real. I'm sitting here feeling like I'm living in an alternate reality where cheating is just reconnecting, and I'm supposed to be grateful she came home to me instead of staying with him. Edit to answer common questions. No, we absolutely never discussed a break. Not once. If anything, I only thought we were working through a rough patch like normal couples do. Going to have a serious conversation with her tomorrow about where we go from here. Pretty sure I already know where this is heading, though. Update 1. Posted 2 weeks ago, so yesterday morning, I sat Vanessa down and told her I wanted to end the relationship. I'd spent the whole night thinking and reading your comments, and I realized this wasn't something I could come back from. I was calm, direct, and as fair as I could be under the circumstances. Her immediate response was tears. Big, dramatic sobbing. Chris, you're throwing away 2 years over one mistake. I chose you. I came home to you. Patrick wanted me to stay, but I chose us. You didn't choose us when you planned to spend the weekend with him, then lied to my face. It wasn't planned. It just happened. We ran into each other, and one thing led to another. Vanessa, you packed a bag, you drove 3 hours in the opposite direction from Emma's house, you checked into a hotel together. That's not just happening. That's planning. When the crying didn't work, she switched to bargaining mode, started talking about couples counseling, how she'd do anything to fix this, how Patrick meant nothing and was just a moment of weakness during a confusing time in our relationship. We can work through this, Chris. All couples go through rough patches. If you really loved me, you'd fight for us instead of just giving up. I stayed firm. I'm not giving up on anything, Vanessa. You already ended this relationship when you decided to sleep with Patrick. I'm just accepting reality. That's when she started getting angry. The mask slipped, and I saw something I'd never seen before. This cold calculation behind her eyes. Where exactly am I supposed to go? I gave up my lease to move in with you. I don't have anywhere else to live. You have 30 days to find a place. That's more than fair. She stared at me like I'd slapped her. Then she tried a completely different approach. She came over and sat right next to me on the couch, put her hand on my thigh, started talking in this soft, breathy voice about how good we were together, how this was just a bump in the road, how we could be stronger than ever. You know you still love me, Chris. You know what we have is special. Don't throw it all away because of one night. When she leaned in to kiss me, I moved away. Don't. Chris, baby, you know you still want me. I can see it in your eyes. We can work through this together. I stood up, feeling disgusted. Are you seriously trying to seduce me right now? After what you did, do you think I'm that pathetic? I'm trying to remind you what we have together, what we could have again, what we had past tense. That version of us died when you decided to cheat on me. She got really pissed then, and her true colors came out. You know what, Chris? Maybe I should call a lawyer, tenant rights, and all that. You can't just kick someone out without proper notice. I could fight this. I almost laughed. Go ahead and call whoever you want. You're not on the lease. You don't pay rent. You have no legal claim to this place. Any lawyer worth their fee will tell you that you're essentially a guest who's overstayed their welcome. That shut her up real quick. I could see her realizing that her threats were empty. The rest of the day was tense. She kept trying different approaches, crying, angry outbursts, trying to guilt me about abandoning her, attempting to be seductive. She even tried to put the blame on Patrick, saying he had somehow manipulated her. It was like watching someone cycle through a playbook of manipulation tactics. When none of the tactics she tried worked, she switched to the silent treatment, which honestly is a relief. But I can tell she's plotting something. She keeps making hushed phone calls and gets quiet when I walk by. Yesterday, I heard her talking to someone about legal options and tenant rights. 26 days left. Honestly, I just want her gone so I can start processing this and moving on. Update 2. Posted 1 week ago. Jesus Christ. You guys warned me, and I still wasn't prepared for this level of calculated manipulation and vindictive behavior. I feel like I'm living with a complete stranger who looks like my ex-girlfriend. So here's what's happened in the past week. Remember how I gave her a credit card linked to my account for emergencies and shared expenses when she moved in? Yeah. Well, apparently our breakup constitutes a massive shopping emergency. She's charged over $2,300 in the past week. Designer clothes from Nordstrom, expensive dinners at restaurants we used to go together, a full spa day package, high-end makeup, even a massage and facial combo. When I confronted her about it, she had the audacity to say, "Well, I'm stressed about being made homeless. Retail therapy helps me cope." Vanessa, you're not homeless. You have 30 days to find a place, and you have a job and savings. This is financial abuse, Chris. You're trying to control me with money. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Financial abuse is charging $2,300 on someone else's credit card without permission, which is exactly what you just did. I've been using that card for months. You never had a problem with it before. That was when we were together and you were buying groceries and necessities, not revenge shopping because I won't let you cheat on me without consequences. I immediately called the credit card company and canceled the card. She screamed at me for 20 minutes about controlling behavior and how I was showing my true colors. The irony was not lost on me. She's also been systematically calling our mutual friends with her sob story, but she's not just seeking support, she's actively trying to turn them against me. According to her version of events, I'm abandoning her over one tiny mistake and throwing her out on the streets like trash because I'm jealous and controlling. She's conveniently leaving out the lying, the planning, the weekend-long affair and her complete lack of remorse. My friend Mike called me Wednesday. "Dude," Vanessa called crying. "She says you're being really harsh about some misunderstanding. Maybe you guys should work things out." She seems really sorry. I had to explain the whole situation again from the beginning. Once Mike heard the actual facts, he immediately apologized and said he'd only gotten her manipulated version. The same thing happened with 3 other friends. She's been methodically going through our social circle, getting to them before I can, and poisoning the well. I'm realizing I need to be more proactive about telling people what really happened before she gets to them with her lies. This is the part that really shows how vindictive and calculating she's become. Tuesday night. I come home from work around 7 p.m. and there's some random dude sitting on my couch like he owns the place. They're watching MY Netflix on MY TV, drinking my beer, and she's got her legs draped over his lap like they're a couple. "Who the hell is this?" I ask, not even trying to hide my anger. "This is David," she says casually, like it's the most normal thing in the world. "We met at Starbucks today. We're just hanging out and getting to know each other." I looked at this guy, some hipster douche with a man bun and expensive sneakers. "You need to leave, right now." David looked confused and a little scared. Vanessa said this was her place too, and I don't care what she said. "This is my apartment, and you need to get the hell out." "Chris, you're being so rude," Vanessa protested. "I'm allowed to have friends over." "Not in my home. Get out," I told David directly. After he left, I told Vanessa this was completely unacceptable. "You're bringing random men you just met into my home. What the hell is wrong with you? It's not like we're together anymore, Chris. I can see whoever I want and hang out with whoever I want." "Not in my apartment, you can't." This is my home. Not some hookup spot for you to parade random guys through. God, you're so possessive. This is exactly why our relationship fell apart. Our relationship fell apart because you cheated on me with your ex. Don't try to rewrite history. She got this smug, calculated look that I'd never seen before. Well, maybe I should invite Patrick over next time. At least he knows how to treat a woman right. That's when I realized this wasn't just about moving on or finding comfort. She was actively trying to hurt me as much as possible. Thursday night, she brought home a different guy. Friday, it was a third one. Each time acting like it was completely normal and I was the crazy one for being upset about strangers in my space. Saturday morning, I'd had enough. I sat her down and said, "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to stop bringing unauthorized people to my apartment immediately. You're going to stop lying to our friends about what happened between us. And you're going to start actually looking for a place to live instead of playing these games." "Or what?" she challenged. "Or I'm going to start documenting everything for legal purposes. The credit card fraud, the harassment, the trespassing, all of it. Legal purposes," she laughed. But I could see uncertainty in her eyes. "You're going to sue me, Chris." "For what?" "Credit card fraud for starters. Charging $2,300 without permission on an account you're not authorized to use. Harassment for your campaign to turn our friends against me with lies. Maybe criminal trespass for bringing unauthorized people into my home after I've explicitly told you not to." Her face changed completely. I could see the wheels turning as she realized I wasn't just making empty threats. "You wouldn't actually try me, Vanessa. You want to play games and try to destroy my life because I won't accept being cheated on. Let's see how that works out for you in court. I guarantee you won't like how it ends." She got very quiet and serious then. "You're threatening me. I'm promising you. Keep pushing and see what happens. I've been trying to handle this civilly by giving you 30 days to leave on your own, but if you want to escalate this into legal territory, I'm prepared for that too." For the first time since this whole thing started, she looked actually scared. She's been researching apartments on her laptop ever since that conversation and hasn't brought anyone over. 11 days left. I think I'm finally getting through to her that this is really happening and her manipulation tactics aren't going to work. Edit. For those saying I should have kicked her out immediately, legally, I had to give her proper notice even though she's not on the lease. I wanted to do this by the book so she couldn't claim I illegally evicted her. Yes, I'm documenting everything now. Screenshots of the credit card charges, photos of the random guys she brought over, text records of her threats and admissions. If she wants to play legal games, I'm prepared. Final update. Posted 3 days ago, it's over. Vanessa moved out yesterday morning and I feel like I can breathe again for the first time in 3 weeks. After my last update, she finally realized I was dead serious about the legal consequences. My threat to document everything and pursue legal action really scared her. She knows credit card fraud is a real crime with real consequences, not just relationship drama she could spin. She spent the next few days actually apartment hunting for real. She found a place with 2 roommates across town. From what I overheard of her phone calls, it's not nearly as nice as my place, but that's not my problem anymore. The last 7 days were tense but mostly peaceful. She stopped bringing random men over and cut back on the manipulation tactics, though she did make a few more attempts, to no avail, of course. Old habits die hard, I suppose. I stayed in my bedroom with the door closed while they moved her stuff. I could hear them talking and laughing like this was just a normal moving day, not the end of a 2-year relationship that she destroyed. The casual tone of it all was actually helpful. It reminded me that I meant so little to her that losing me wasn't even worth being sad about. Before she left, she knocked on my bedroom door. "Chris, can we talk for just a minute?" I opened the door but didn't invite her in. "What?" "I just want you to know that you're going to regret this. What we had was special, and you're throwing it away because you can't forgive one mistake." I looked at her, really looked at her and felt nothing. No love, no anger, no regret. Just tired relief that this was almost over. What we had was built on trust and honesty. You destroyed both of those things and then tried to convince me it was my fault. I don't regret protecting myself from someone who could lie to my face and then call me slow for being hurt about it. She didn't have an answer for that, just stared at me for a few seconds, then turned and walked away. I changed the locks immediately, had a locksmith on standby, called the credit card company to confirm the account was completely secure and got a new card with a different number. Then I ordered pizza, opened a beer and watched football in my apartment in complete peace. The silence was incredible. No tension, no walking on eggshells, no manipulation attempts. Just quiet, peaceful solitude in my own space. Reddit, thank you. Seriously. Your comments really helped me stay strong. You reminded me what normal looks like when I was drowning in manipulation and lies. I'm doing really well now. Actually excited about being single for the first time in years. I've got my self-respect, my home, my friends, The real ones who didn't fall for her manipulation, and my peace of mind. She's got Patrick in a sketchy living situation with roommates. I think I came out ahead. Edit. For those asking about Patrick, honestly, I almost feel sorry for the guy. He has no idea what he's getting himself into. She showed him her best behavior for one weekend, but he's about to learn what happens when the mask comes off. But that's not my problem anymore. Yes, I'm keeping the evidence I collected just in case she tries any legal bullshit later, but honestly I think she's too busy enjoying her freedom with Patrick to bother me anymore. The saga is complete. Time to move forward.